Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a little review on a new toy that we've bought. I call it a toy, camper van, motorhome. So if you've been watching my vlogs in the past and seen my walking one, we said about we was going to buy a new motorhome. We did have a caravan for quite some time, for about a year, and we didn't really get on with the caravan life. We've done it for a few years in the past, but this time we've done motorhoming for a while, and we've sort of liked the fact that we can tour with motorhome, we can go to pub stops and stuff like that. So we finally got around to buying a motorhome. So I'll just turn around and show you it in the background. So you can see this is the Auto Trail 615. It's a tribute two-berth motorhome. So I've got the camera and I'm going to do a quick review of the motorhome now as we've just bought it. We are away at the moment at the Cotswolds. It is a bit of a mess. It's definitely dirty of all the wet weather we've had. And then we'll do a review hopefully in a year's time of do we still love it or not, like I did before on the Adria Twin. Anyway, enough chatting, I'll grab the camera. Right, so the front of the van, the base chassis is a Fiat Ducati, exactly the same as the Adria Twin that we had previously. This has got the 2.3 litre diesel Euro 6 engine, which is ULEZ compliant because we live within the M25, and it has a 6-speed gearbox. Its length of this van is 6.3 metres. We're hopefully getting it below 7 because of our drive, and it's 2.3 metres in width, so it's a bit wider because of the mirrors as well than our previous van, and it's 3 metres high. As you see, it's got a bubble top and the little eyes for the lights at the top, which is quite unique to the Auto Trail. Right, so looking at the engine, there was an issue with the Ducatis. I think they're doing a new uplift soon, but there was an issue with them with the water not draining away properly. And this has got the same, look, that's full of water where it's been raining. It's all gone along here, it's still all full of water up here. And this overflows, I believe, doesn't run down properly through here and gets on top of the engine and do damage to the injectors, which is quite an expensive job to get repaired. So that's something I need to sort out now, that overflow. We've only just bought this van, so you can see there's a lot of water in here as well. That's leaking, obviously, because that shouldn't be leaking down to there. And the dealers knew about this as well, because this is, I've just found this has been shoved in the corner. This is absolutely soaking wet, and all the brake system down there is wet, and it looks like a little bit of rust on it. That's probably leaking because of this drain over here. Maybe that's leaking somewhere, or it's this seal here that's leaking. So all these sort of things are worth looking at if you're ever buying these vans. Let's get them sorted out. Dealers are not great for sorting these things out. The warranties are pretty useless for second hand because it only covers you up to £700, so it's not going to cover you for a lot of this stuff. Alright, so I'm not an expert on these. It's just some stuff I found from the previous van and some of the stuff that people put on social media. So anyone wants to comment below on the on the Fiat Ducati and the engines and possible issues with them, please comment below because it'd be handy for others to learn. Alright, so walking down the side, we've got the alloyed wheels on this one, which is quite nice, saves me having to do them. I do like alloyed wheels. It's got the pull-out awning as well, which is standard for these vans. Looking inside the cab, this is standard for most Adria, keep saying Adria, most Fiat Ducatis. I think they're doing a facelift on the models this year, but I can't be sure. But anyway, the cab doors, 2 nice pockets here for storage. Over here we've got the glove compartment, 2 cup holders here, and we usually put the phones in here. And down here we've got the USB connection. This is also a connection to the media system to play music through the radio, although on our van that's not working. We have got this media radio, which is probably one of the worst ones I've ever come across. Doesn't seem to connect to any Android phones for media. Does for iPhones, according to what I've been told, but it does connect for making phone calls, but that's about it. So it's not the greatest of systems. Might have to modify that, upgrade it or something. You get a 12-volt outlet and a USB outlet here as well, which is standard on all the Fiat Ducatis. We haven't got any of the other mods. We've got aircon, but we haven't got the auto descent and stuff on this van, but we didn't use it on the last one, so we're not too fussed with that. Up here is another glove box, and we like this one because this is actually connected. Let's move this. This duct here is connected to the heating and aircon system. So if you've got anything like you're in Spain and you want to put water in here, put the aircon on, it'll keep them nice and cold. It's really, really good idea, I think. And it can do the same with hots. If you put anything in here like lunches and that you want to keep warm, put the heating on, that will keep hot as well. So nice little tiny touch that. And then up here we have the flip up clipboard. And this bit I like, you pull the lever out, you can put your phone, any mobile phone, quite large, or tablets into there, lock it into position, and then you can use that to do your like your sat nav sort of thing, rather than sat navs, because I don't like sat navs, they're pretty rubbish most of them. I find Google Maps much better. And if I had it connected to the media, you'll be able to play all your music for it as well, which we can't do at the moment, but hopefully that gets sorted at some point. Anyway, coming out the cab, down here underneath you have the jack. If I can get it out, get this off. There you go, that's a jack. And you, bars to get your wheels off, to change your wheels. You just got to undo this clip here and it should slide out. You might have to pull these bits off at these areas to take this to get it out. On our last van we took that out, put it somewhere else, and we put a battery underneath that, a lithium battery. So if you see my last vlogs, you could do that, but I've done it somewhere else. And so just under here, this mat here, under this cover, you have to undo all these plastic bits around the corners to get all this out. I can't get it out at the moment, but this is your main engine battery, the starter battery they call it. So I'll be showing you that at a later vlog, because I'll be running cables to that, to a B2B for the lithium battery setup that I'm putting on. So that's where your starter battery is. Diesel input, this one we're lucky, we haven't got the AdBlue on this one, which is a pain. We had in the last van, had the AdBlue, we haven't got it, it's good. Outside boot locker, as you see we're away at the moment, very muddy. Also we keep our water connections in here and electric hookup when we're using it. I've got a spare breaker bar, because I find that's easier to get the wheels off rather than the rubbish they give you if they've been put on with impact wrenches. And we've got the ramps here, we've got one each side. These are just to get us out of the mud if we ever get stuck in it. We've had them for years, just called waffle balls I think they're called. If you want to look them up, and I've ground them off, sloped them off. They are absolutely brilliant. We've been stuck in the mud quite a few times and we've used them. We've showed a vlog on one of them once when we got stuck in the New Forest and couldn't get out. But that's nice, I like these outside lockers, because we can change our boots and not have to take our muddy boots indoors. Fridge, we've got a gas fridge on this one, electric, standard 3 combinations, so that's your vents for your fridge. Over here we've got a gas outlet for barbecues, which is a nice thing, we haven't got to add that on. And this one's locks, but yeah, it's locks, that's just the water inlet, it's just an inlet in there. On the doors, it's got the multi-locking system on the doors, which is nice. With all the auto trails, they do this umbrella holder here, which is quite good, and we get a bin on the door, which is another bonus. And a nice little cupboard down here, we put these in just to change our boots when they're muddy, so we can get in the van and not have to take muddy. And a blind on the door as well. Very nice sturdy doors these on these vans. At the rear we've got the rear camera at the top there, bike rack which I've just installed. I'll do a vlog on how I fitted that. Down the side here, water and waste outlets, toilet cassette, don't need to show you that. Gas locker, it's big enough, let's open it. Yeah, so it's big enough in here to get the, this came with it, a 13 kilogram gas canister, and the 6 kilogram over the back there that we're running on at the moment. We was going to downsize them, but we like the fact that this would last us a long time, and gas is getting hard to get lately. Every place we go to says they haven't got it, so we're lucky to fill this up. Hopefully it should last us more than a year, or depending on how much off-grid we do. And then electric outlet, or inlet, and then your connection here for your, that's your Tuma hot water gas outlet. It's broke off, this one, come out of here. I've got to fix that, so it's an easy fix. And then the driving cab, again, same sort of setup on here. Underneath here is a storage area, this one. We keep all the paperwork for the van in there, but that's quite a nice one. You could put some HV vests and stuff in there for when you break down, I'll say. The cab's pretty standard of the Fiat. Controls here for your phone and controls over here for the radio, and it's got cruise control. Like I said earlier, 6-speed gearbox on this one. Personally, I prefer the manuals to the automatics, but I know it's personal choice. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and the camera up here, which is your reversing camera, comes on when you put it on reverse. This one you can turn on when you're driving, and it will show the images at the back as well. So that's quite nice if you need that. But realistically, your 2 side mirrors should be enough for doing that when you're driving. And it's got the blinds like all these vans have got along the front, and the blinds down the side here as well. So that's most of the outside and cab. So we'll just go around and look inside. Alright, so coming in the van, we've got the control panel up here. On-off switch for turns all the electrics on and off. This turns the internal lights which are around the top. You can see just lighting up there. Your water pumps switch, that's an external light. Then you've got this one which gives you all your levels. You've got your water tank level, select for batteries, different types of batteries, front leisure battery or back battery. I don't know about the adjust hours. I haven't read the panel on this. We don't really use this a lot. And yeah, that's basically it really. It just gives you all the levels, water level, waste level and stuff like that. And I'm assuming this one just allows you to go between them. Yeah, that selects between the 2 different batteries and stuff. Yeah, it's got a smoke alarm. I don't know whether this was standard or whether this was fitted by the previous owner, but nice to have coat hangers there. If it is standard, great. And then over here we've got another switch under here which we use to turn these lights on just above the kitchen area. This is the one we use when we're going in and out of the van because it's easier than trying to fumble around trying to find that button. Cupboards. There's quite a few cupboards in this van, lots of space. They've all got these plastic clips on to hold them down. Not great, the springs come out of these, already doing it on quite a few of them. We've had a few replaced by the dealer. I expect they're going to be a constant problem. And then over here, nice big storage space. And then they give you a paper, toilet roll, kitchen paper holder, which is quite nice. We didn't have on our previous van. And in the back window, all the windows, well this one hasn't, oh, is it? Yeah, all the windows have got blinds and the mozzie net as well. And we like these blinds rather than the pull down ones on springs which just end up, if you accidentally let go of them, they go up really fast and break the plastic clips off all along the bottom as well. These ones are much more secure and a nice big window. So down here we have quite a very large sink for a motorhome, probably the biggest sink we've ever had. So it's quite nice. We've still got to probably get a bowl for it. But yeah, it's very nice to be able to wash up and stuff in this one. Standard sink tap. We have the 240 volt socket outlet here. You just pull that, so that comes up. So then you got your 3 outlets. At the moment this isn't working on this van, so it's something I need to figure out. If I figure out what it is and it's an easy fix, I'll let you know. Loretta just went to the shop and bought this, which is quite nice to keep the top clean. We've got a 3 burner gas hob in this one. They do ones with the electric one as well. So you get the 3 rings of gas and 1 electric, which is dual fuel, which is quite handy if you have electric hookup. Very rarely we do electric hookup unless it's free. And down here you've got your oven and grill. This one hasn't hardly been used from new. Nice big another storage spot down here. Pots and pans we put in there. And right down the back, if you're ever looking for it, is the water pump. So if you're having problems with your water pump, that's where it is. And on this side, again, 2 large cupboards. A lot of cupboard storage space on these vans. And then you draw for your cutlery. And that's pretty much it for the kitchen. We like this, it's quite a good setup, this kitchen. Quite a good bit of space. And above you is one of the roof vents. There's 3 vent areas. This one does have the fan, so you can either put it to blow air in or blow air out, and you just wind this to bring the top part up for ventilation. And it's also, like all of them, has covers at night time so you can make it dark. Right, so as we move down the van, at the top here we've got a microwave. This is filled up with all our sweets and chocolates and eggs because we don't use a microwave. But it's a good storage spot because it locks the door down. It's never going to open up while you're driving along. Like I say, we don't usually use electric hookup, so that would cost a lot on our battery if we had it when we get the inverters fitted. Over here we've got a 12-volt outlet, TV outlet, which I'm temporarily using, aerial, and a 240-volt socket. There's no USB charging sockets anywhere in the habitational areas, which I will have to install. You can get the plug-in ones, which we have got somewhere around the van, to charge 2 phones off of there, but we would like to have a dedicated one up here. Still keeping this one because it's handy for 12-volt for pumps, charging laptops, etc. A nice big area here for sorting out preparation of food, mostly dumping all that stuff when we come in. And 4 of these around the habitational area, the bed area, these lights, which I'll show you as I go around. Some people have replaced these with the ones with the USB outlets for charging. Depending on the size of the cables coming to these, you've got to be careful you don't overload the system on them. Down here we have the multi-supplier, multi-source fridge. So it runs on 240 at the moment because this site we're on is giving us free 240. Gas or battery when you're driving. And then you've got the buttons here to increase the temperature or decrease temperature just by pushing this one. That would change the temperature inside the fridge. And then a warning one, if I click on here to put it on, it'll bleep because we're not got the engine running. That'll go off if the engine starts running. So yeah, pretty good fridges. The last fridge we had was a 12-volt fridge. I don't know what one I like really. I love the 12 volts because we can go on things like ferries and not have to worry about losing any food because the fridge can stay on all the time. But they are a bit noisy and they're very juicy on your leisure battery. So these are quite handy because they can run on gas, which means, and they run really well on gas compared to the 240. So that's great for off grid. On the 240, you might, if anyone's seen my previous fridge, when you get to something like Spain and the temperature outside is really hot, these don't work great. You do need to take them vents off outside and put fans on it, which we did to get it working. Inside, it's packed out at the moment because we're away. So you've got it's quite a big fridge and you've got a lot of room in here for storage. And up here we've got a freezer compartment area as well. And somewhere to put your vodka. And next to the fridge is the area where the table would normally go. It's out at the moment, so that's where the table goes. Come on there. Alright, so as we move down the cabin area, as you can see I've got the table set up. I'll show you a little clip now of me having breakfast. So it's quite a nice sized table. It's a nice sized area for at least easily getting 4 people around here. Although it's only a 2-berth van, it's great for we're having breakfast and lunch and dinner around here. So I'm just going to put that away and then show you the rest of the van. Right, so the roof line, like I said earlier, it's got 3 opening areas, vent areas, light areas, whatever you want to call them. There's 2 there, 2 square ones. This is just a pop-up one. Again, it's got a blind that goes across. And then over here, you've got what they call the skylight. And again, that's got a blind that comes across and opens up fully. So you get quite a bit of ventilation when you're in the hotter parts of Europe. Along the top, you've got loads of storage area, which is one of the things we loved about this van. Have a look in here, my messy one, which comes with a free bottle of Jack Daniels in every van. And then, yeah, some loads of cupboard space all around. These ones are huge at the back, which is where we put all our bedding, one at either side. So they're quite nice. And these little cubby hole areas are quite nice because although we put bits in there, and you can see over here I've got bits, and I put all my camera stuff over here, nothing's ever come off here and fallen out while we're driving along. And it's a nice little storage space to put a few blankets if we get cold at night or something like that. Like I said earlier, you've got lights going all the way around. You've got switches here for underneath lights as well. These are your little reading lights going around, and every window as we go around, it's got the blackout blinds. and the mozzie nets, like I said earlier, and nice ones at that as well. And that's pretty much it for the top part. We'll talk about heating that in a minute. So along the bottom, these come with very long bench seats. I would say, I've not measured them, but I'd say they're about 6 foot long. You can easily sleep on these singly, which we do, and I'll show you that setup in a minute. Or you can pull them out and you can have a whole large double bed. But we prefer the single setup because if you want to get up during the night and use the facilities, you haven't got to wake the other person up. So this is one of the bonuses of this van, and one of the main reasons why we bought this van. The 2 cabin seats do turn around. This one can turn around fully. I can show you that in a minute maybe. This one struggles. We've got lots of bit in the way, but it catches on the steering wheel on this part, so it doesn't get fully around, but it can turn at least at a 70-degree mark. So you can turn these 2 around to have extra people sitting there if you want. Alright, so for over here is where I said earlier we had the TV connection. You can see we've got all the bits plugged in there, and that will be your 12-volt outlet for your TV. But it makes it very difficult because you've got no backrest on this side to be able to watch TV. So we didn't like that setup. So we've put the TV up here, which you've probably seen. And I put a connection up in here because this is, if anyone's seen my previous vlogs, this is just a standard LG Smart TV, which I converted the power system to run on 12 volt. So that I'm still working on, still got to put the cables in properly. But that goes into here, and I've got a DC-DC converter here, converts it to 19 volts off of this fuse. I'll update the vlogs on this, and that runs the TV. And while we're in here, normally you'd have a solar panel controller up here, which is a basic PW pulse width modulation solar panel, not the best in the world. So that's been taken out, I've replaced that. And this is your Sergeant control unit. You've got your 240 volt MCBs and an RCD there. And you've got all your fuse connections for around the van. Button up here turns the system, shuts it down. I think that's the charging one. I've got glasses on. It's not on, so it probably is because I've switched it off. And that's the heating one, and that's basically it. And there's a little switch down here. We're running on leisure battery at the moment. Middle's supposed to be off, and top one's supposed to be battery. I think that's for charging, but that's something I'll update as I do the electric vlogs at later dates. And in here, I've just got the solar controller. I've started to fit, still got to finish off, but it's a Victron controller which runs much better. Right, so this is one of the areas underneath the seated area. As you can see, like boots what we saw earlier from the locker. Quite large spaces under here. Normally the battery is under here, for if you're buying one of these and you've got the old lead acid battery. I've installed a lithium, which I don't have a vlog on. I'll do that, update that at a later date. So that's gone into this area, makes it much easier. Can't really put them underneath because of the temperature that they run at. But a good size storage space, both sides, left and right, for putting away rubbish. Right, whilst I'm down here, I'll show you the bed setup if you want to pull it out. So these just like lift it up, slide it, and they will come out to make up the big double bed. Easily set up. They don't lift up very easy like this. They're on hydraulic rams, but if you've got the cushions on here, it's really, really hard. You do have to take the cushions off to do that. And then this metal bar that comes out if you extend it to the full length to make a double bed up. Other than that, what we normally do is you can lift these out a little bit. Let's get the cushion back in. So as you can see, these are quite big beds, so you can lift these out a little bit so that this one slides down now, and then it makes up a nice, very wide single bed, which you can have on both sides. So good setup. And then just push it back and you're done. Right, so down here we have the control system for the hot water system. This is the boiler, hot water boiler, electric 240 volts. We've got 2 settings, top and bottom. Top one takes less power than the bottom one. Don't know what the wattage is. It might be 1,000 watt and 2,000 watts. I'd have to look up the manual if we ever use that. And then this side is for the gas for the boiler. Switch it down will be 70 degrees. Switch it up will be 50 degrees. If I switch it down now, it should just start up automatically. There's nothing else to do. If the red light comes on, then there's a problem. If it doesn't come on, then it's just like now. That's running already. Very easy to on this van to start up the gas systems. Never had a problem with any of it really. And over here we have our heating system. I love these ones. This is the Truma heater system, like an oil heater really. I prefer these better to the blower heater one that we had previously on our Swift van, because that used to be quite noisy on the blowers and it had lots of faults. It was electronically controlled. If anyone's seen my vlogs with the fuse blowing internally, you get loads of faults. Where these are very robust. They've been going around for years. I had one on our last caravan, which is probably 10 years old, and I think even on our first caravan, which is probably 20 odd years old. So they're a very, very reliable bit of kit. To turn them on, we have two controls. This is the 240 volt control. Switch it up would be 2000 watts, that's full power on when you've got electric hookup. Then you've got 500 watts and 1000 watts, so you can lower the wattage if you're on a site where they're not giving you too much power and you want to run other things around the van. And then you just control this dial. There'll be a little tiny green light. If I put it onto 500, so you can see a little green light there, hopefully. And controlling that, I don't know if you can hear that click, but that's the click that's saying that the heater's on or off, and then you can set it to the desired temperature you want, and then this will switch on and off for that temperature and control the room temperature. For the gas, it's this control. They've got rid of the old push it down and then push the little tiny thing to keep click, click, click to get them started and take forever to start. Now it's all electronic ignition. So all we do is we turn that around. You can hear it clicking. If I push this button down, clicking goes off, done, lit. You can hear it roaring now. So it's a much faster way of starting it. Never had any issues with starting the heating system, which used to be a pain in the old days. And then over here we have the blower part. We got a bit dusty. We're off at the moment. We can put it onto automatic, where it should automatically control the speed of the fan to the ductings. You can see one down there on the floor maybe, and there's one in the bathroom. I'll show you. It's actually automatically control the speed of the fan to heat up the van. I find it doesn't work that great really, so I'll put it on manual, and then that's at full whack, and that's on low. So it's quite, it's very quiet really, unless you're on full whack, and it heats up the van very nicely, and the bathroom, which I'll show you in a minute. Right, in here is a large wardrobe area. It's full up with junk at the moment. Over there is the control for the TV aerial. You can see it's switched on at the moment. There's a little dial on it. I think it controls the gain. That's not much else to say about that. I believe the aerial goes up through there, and I'm hoping the solar aerial cable's over there going for the roof, because that's something I hope to upgrade at some point. Just to mention that there's a 100-watt solar panel on these, are standard. So, right, so the bathroom area, standard toilet that swivels. It's a swivelling toilet. Can't really say much about that really. Quite easy. Good space in this bathroom for using the facilities. Button over there does the flush, runs on the 12-volt pump and the water system of the van, so you don't have to separately fill that up. And we've got a good nice size sink in here as well, and the pump is quite powerful, and it's quite powerful for using the shower as well. Window standard here, and there is a cupboard at the top which hasn't got anything in it at the moment. Not much storage space in here, so I need to sort out. Oh, while I'm opening this, you can see what I was saying about the clips. This one, spring's coming out, so it's not pushing in properly. So you have to sort of line that spring up so that it works again. So it's a bit of a bad design on them, so that won't close properly. Shower, it's separate shower on this one. Cubicle door, rather than a curtain, which is quite nice. And just a basic shower really, and a shower, a rail up there which we use to dry towels off and that. This is, I've used this shower a couple of times now, and it is a lovely shower. It does work quite well. It is quite powerful as well. And for the blowers, down the bottom there, you've got a blower for the hot water, sorry, for the heating. I believe this might blow a bit over here as well. So we put it on full whack, and this comes a really nice warm area to have a shower. So separate shower and toilet, and vent at the top there. Lovely part of the van. It's another reason why we bought the van. Right, so that's it really, I think, for the review of the van. Hopefully it's been of some informative information to you guys. We love it at the moment. Obviously we've just bought it. We've had it for about a couple of weeks, and it's our first time away in it properly in the Cotswolds. We've not had any issues with it. The space And the storage space in this van is absolutely brilliant. And the size of the roof, I didn't mention earlier, because I haven't got the bed up there and you've got the bubble, it just makes it look so much bigger, this van. It's so nice, and it's still a lovely drive to get down the country lanes and stuff. So yeah, it's a very nice van for living in and driving. We've got a few issues that are broke that we've got to sort out. I'll be updating a vlog on the fitting of the bike rack. I've got the lithium battery that installed. I'll show you how I'm doing that, which I did in my previous van. The solar controller, which I've changed to Victron MPPT. I might be upgrading the solar on the roof, depending on how we get on. Because we're running gas fridge now, not the 12-volt fridge like we used to have, it's not such a demand on the battery, so we might not need to upgrade that solar. Hopefully we don't, because it's a lot more hassle. I do need to fit a B2B, so that we're running lithium off a proper algorithm and a bit more safer than putting too much current down the original cables of the van. And then what else I need to do after the B2B's fitted? I need to fit a charge, probably 240-volt charger if I need it, but it's not really guaranteed that. And it's an inverter. I've got an inverter going in. It's a very low voltage inverter, just to charge up our e-bikes and little bits and pieces like that. So that'll be it really. I'll keep you updated on all the mods that I'll do in the van, because there'll be a few going ahead. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll do another review in hopefully 6 months, a year's time, to tell you whether we're still in love with the van or whether we're falling out of love for some reason. See you later.